A few years ago, me and some friends were bored and decided to do something. We were a bunch of dumb teenage boys, so as you can imagine it was something, well, dumb. We were staying out at one of our friends' houses in the countryside. There was an old abandoned farmhouse down the road. A dirt road cut off from the main one and went into the woods. Then you would emerge into a clearing, and the house would be there. Rumor had it that an old man had died in the house years beforehand, and we thought it would be fun to see if it was still haunted. We obviously didn't think it was, so it was supposed to be just a fun, goofy sleepover at the house. After convincing our mothers, we set off. It was fairly late in the evening, and we had some old sleeping bags, 2 flashlights, some batteries, 5 water bottles, and a box of those granola bars that you can buy at the store. We had some ham sandwiches before leaving, as after that we would only have those granola bars. Then we left the house and started walking down along the road. As we walked, I just couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. But I thought I was just being paranoid and brushed it off. After all, I didn't want to look like a wuss in front of my friends. After walking a little while, we reached the clearing with the house in it. There was the house, and a little outhouse near it on the tree line. We went inside the house. There was a living room that was connected to the kitchen. This made up the downstairs, and the upstairs had a bedroom and a bathroom. We went upstairs and set up shop in the bedroom. On the way up, I noticed how loud the stairs creaked. When we got set up, it was dark, but there was still some light out. We got the batteries and our flashlights while we could still see, and just waited for the night. We had all of our sleeping bags set up in a sort of circle on the floor. No one wanted to use the bed because it was old, and there were rumors that it was where the old man had died. Besides, it was just infested with bed bugs. But none of us knew if that was true. We were sitting in a circle, munching on the granola bars, making shadow puppets with our flashlights. Being teenage boys, we made all sorts of things, ranging from dogs to, well, penises. Aiden went to see if the bathroom worked. He said he hoped he didn't have to go out to the outhouse, and then he left the room. We continued messing around, and after a few seconds, Aiden came back and said it wasn't working, and asked us to watch out the window as he went to the outhouse, because we were young and partly scared of the dark. So he left the room, and we saw his flashlight moving across the grass and entered the outhouse. After a minute, I looked away from the window and grabbed a water bottle, as all the granola had made me pretty thirsty. Then, I heard those stairs creaking so loudly that the silence afterward was deafening. We all looked at each other. I looked out the window as I thought it was just Aiden, and I saw Aiden's flashlight leaving the outhouse. I froze, horrified, and slowly sat back down. I thought the house was just settling, as many old houses do, but then the stairs creaked again and again, slowly getting louder. I looked at John and Taz, as we called him. If it wasn't any of us, then who or what was making that noise? We were all sat in front of the door, and were all staring at it now. We heard footsteps walk up to the door and then stop. I called out Aiden's name and got no response. And then I heard the door downstairs open and the stairs creaking again. Then I heard Aiden. He screamed, and I heard the sound of something crashing down the stairs. We all ran out to make sure he was all right, and down the stairs, Aiden was on the ground, with a man standing over him. We asked who he was, and he slowly turned around. His face was snow white, and his eyes black pits. His mouth opened into a sinister grin, and I felt something inside me snap, a fight or flight instinct. But for some reason, I just couldn't move. I was frozen in fear, and the man slowly started walking up the stairs, one step at a time, staring at me. I couldn't look away. He got up the stairs and walked up to me. He was way taller than me, and I was staring up at him. He never once stopped looking at me, and I felt a primal fear. I closed my eyes, and I could feel him breathing on my face. Then, after what felt like an hour, I opened my eyes, and he was gone. My friends seemed to snap out of it. We ran down the stairs, almost trampling each other, grabbed Aiden and ran like hell down the road in the dark. When we were on the trail through the woods leading onto the road, we heard a scream behind us. It didn't stop, and it was getting closer. I had never ran so fast in my life and never have since. We got on the main road and the screaming stopped. We didn't slow down though. We ran through the dark back to John's house and explained what happened. Normally his parents wouldn't believe us, but they saw how scared we were, and we all went to bed. I couldn't sleep though now. Years later, I've lost contact with them, and I don't know where I would look for them. But I'm glad I'm far away from that damn house. If you enjoyed today's story, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, safety and peace.